purified and concentrated in a state-of-the-art facility in Norway, allowing for more EPA and DHA combined in the same size capsule. That means you get 50% more potency in every dose without increasing the dosage. Super Omega-3 Max is perfect for people striving to keep their hearts healthy and bodies operating at peak performance. Order Omega-3 Max today at Fortifeye.com. That's Fortifeye.com, or call 866-503-9746. That's 866-503-9746. 866-503-9746. And at Fortifeye.com.
Hi, this is Dr. Michael Lange, board-certified optometric physician and certified nutritional specialist, and the founder of the Lange Eye Institute and Fortifeye Vitamins. I've hosted the very popular Ask the Doctor program since 1993. I educate you on the latest advancements and natural approaches to eye disease and total body wellness. I'm Dr. Michael Lange, helping keep America fit and healthy.
The Lange Eye Institute in the Villages and the Fortifeye Nutrition Center on McMillan Booth Road in Clearwater. Online at Fortifeye.com. And listen to Ask the Doctor Saturday morning at 9 on AM 930, The Answer.
Ask the Doctor with Michael Lange begins in 10 seconds.
When it comes to your health, are you seeing the check engine light come on more than normal? It's time to get under the hood. It's time for Ask the Doctor with Dr. Michael Lange. Sponsored by Lange Eye Institute and Fortifeye Vitamins. Dr. Lange is a board-certified optometric physician and certified nutrition specialist, helping people see and feel better through proper nutrition for 25 years. The doctor is in. Call now with your questions at 877-969-8600. That's 877-969-8600. Here's your host, Dr. Michael Lange.
All righty. Good morning and welcome to Ask the Doctor. I'm your host, Dr. Michael Lange of the Lange Eye Institute and Fortifeye Vitamins, here each and every Saturday morning live to answer any and all questions regarding your vision, eye care, or a nutritionally related topic. So feel free to take advantage and give me a call. Also, Roger P. Schulman, a local famous newscaster, is in the studio with me, co-hosting the show. Roger, thanks for cruising in with me this morning.
Good to be here once again, Doctor. And one side note, for some reason, we have a new phone number temporarily this morning. So if you want to call in the show, here it is. The old number is malfunctioning. So we have a new number temporarily today. Write this down if you want to call in. 813-720-8065. That's 813-720-8065. That's our number for today only if you want to participate in the show.
Thanks for that. So we might not get a lot of calls today, but participation is encouraged. Remember, no matter how simple or complicated your question is, we'll try to answer it to the best of our ability. I'm a board-certified optometric physician. I'm a certified nutritional specialist. I hail from the Lange Eye Institute in the Villages, Florida, and Fortifeye Vitamins. I'm the CEO and lead formulator for the Fortifeye Vitamin Company, and this company is based on our motto, right ingredients, right science, right for you, a fully transparent vitamin company. We tell you exactly what's in our supplements, and we don't get it from some of these third world countries or China.
No Chinese materials.
That's exactly right. So once again, phone lines are open. Write this down. It's a new number for today. If you want to call us, it's a free call. That is 813-720-8065. One more time, 813-720-8065. 8065. Also, if you'd like to see me at the Lange Eye Institute in the Villages, Florida, or Dr. Susan Somerton in the Villages, Florida, or Dr. Lori Caputi, certainly come on by the Lange Eye Institute in the Villages, Florida. I'm going to give you that phone number. It's 352-753-4014. One more time, Lange Eye Institute phone number is 352-753-4014. And since you got your pen handy, I'm going to give you the phone number for Fortifeye Vitamins. We answer the phone every day but Sunday. And the phone number for Fortifeye Vitamins is 866-503-9746. That's 866-503-9746. Also, we do have the Lange Nutrition Center in Ocala, Florida, right on State Road 200. My old Lange Eye Care building, 2-story building right across from the mall. You can go up there and get all your Fortifeye Vitamins, all your nutritional needs. And then in Clearwater, we have the Fortifeye Nutrition Center right there on McMillan Booth Road in the Bayside Bridge Plaza. It says Fortifeye Nutrition or Fortifeye Vitamins right on the front. So you can come there anytime as well. I do want to mention, first time ever mentioned on the radio, we are coming back to Ocala, Florida, Roger.
Yes, you are. You were there from, what was it, 2013?
No, 1993.
1993. Oh, my goodness, to 2016. And you're going to be coming back to Ocala. The Lange Eye Care is going to be back, and it is at a location soon to be announced.
That's right. We're going to have the Lange Eye Institute Ocala. Of course, it's going to be super nice. It's going to be a beautiful facility, state-of-the-art optical, state-of-the-art eye care clinic. We'll have our own on-site labs. We have a great group of doctors, including me. I'll be back in Ocala on certain days seeing patients. Remember, I started my first office in 1993 in Ocala. Started Ask the Doctor in 1993, April of 1993 in Ocala. And we've grown to the longest running syndicated medical talk show in the country, over 33 years. So those of you that live in the Ocala, Gainesville area or in that neck of the woods, I don't know when we'll open, but it's probably 6 months away. But it might be even sooner. You never know. So Lange Eye Institute Ocala is coming very soon. In the meantime, come and visit us in the Lange Eye Institute in the Villages. So before we, just starting off the show, I want to talk a little bit. I'm going to just recap, Roger, about something we talked about last week. And we got a lot of emails. We got a lot of social media questions from all the different avenues of social media, messenger, and things like that. And we talked a little bit about what can be done to help reduce cognitive decline as we age. Think about it, we're all aging. I'm 63. You're in your late 70s now. We all start to lose memory as we mature. You know, you get those times when you're going into the kitchen, you know, you were sitting in the den watching TV, you say, I got to get something in the kitchen. And you get in the kitchen, you forgot what you're going for, right?
Yeah, or you forget where you put the car keys, all those little things that crop up on you as you age.
Brain fog moments. So how do we reduce these as we age? And there's some definite natural ways you can do that. Some pretty good studies show that you can decrease 54% of your cognitive decline, 54%, by walking more, getting more steps. And the magical number is between 5,000 and 7,500 steps a day. So if you get between 5,000 and 7,500 steps a day, it's a 54% decrease in cognitive decline, you know, and it's also a 60% reduction in premature death. So we got to walk more, but also not only walking, and you and me hit the gym all the time. We were at the gym last night late, weren't we?
We were, right before it closed. It was a quick session.
Right. We had about 35 minutes, a good back workout. And there's some evidence now that shows that resistance training just twice a week for a 6-month period can protect against Alzheimer's, dementia. So walk and do some resistance training. You don't have to be in the gym. It can be bands, it can be dumbbells, it can be push-ups, you know, but some sort of resistance training. And then there's a really cool study that just came out, and Dr. Summerton had brought this to my attention. But believe it or not, working out your legs, all right? Because a lot of people, they work out their upper body, but they don't work out their legs. And so doing leg presses, lunges, you know, but especially leg presses showed that if you did it for 30 minutes, 3 times a week, all right? I don't want you to overtrain, though, because most of the time doctors say, and you know, trainers, 2 times a week per body part. But the study showed that 30 minutes of leg workout 3 times a week reduced the chance of Alzheimer's by 47%. So now we walk, We do some resistance training, and in that resistance training, we include leg presses, lunges, and squats, and we're going to reduce the chance of us getting, dementia. So I think it's because the legs are the biggest muscle in the body, and that acts as a pump, so it's driving blood to the brain.
That
So-
might be it. And if you are having trouble getting out walking, get yourself a dog. That'll really help because the dog will want to go out, and then you'll take a walk, and both of you will benefit from that.
And today we got to hit legs today, Roger.
Legs, a good idea. Yeah, you see so many people at the gym, guys with these massive upper bodies and spindly little legs that don't get any exercise.
Yep. So we're going to hit legs today. We're going to go to the phones. We got somebody on the new line. Let's go to, I think it's Don and maybe Micanopy.
Yes, sir. Hi, good morning. I think it's Don, too. My name's Don.
Good morning.
Good morning, y'all. I'm going to call them events. I had these two events about 5 months ago where the bottom portion of my left eye suddenly kind of clouded up, kind of a gray, foggish area I couldn't see through. It only lasted a very short time. After the second time, I got my eyes fully examined. They no problem, retina and all that good stuff. And then my doctor asked for a carotid artery ultrasound.
Right.
Nothing, no problems there. So that was a few months ago, but last week it happened again. And by the time it's only a few minutes. By the time I get in, what to do, it clears up. But I'm wondering if you all, apparently some kind of transient blood flow issue, probably.
Right. So we always worry about TIAs, transient ischemic events. All right. And so that's why it's a good idea to see your cardiologist, have your carotid arteries checked, make sure that the heart's pumping well, make sure that you haven't had an arrhythmic event or anything like that. But you also got to check your blood pressure and your blood sugar. When your blood sugar drops, you can get, foggy vision. When your blood sugar goes up, you can get foggy vision. If your blood pressure spikes.
Okay.
So we now get make sure blood sugar, blood pressure, and the heart's working well. But there's other things that are a little bit simpler that can cause blurred vision, believe it or not. Dry eye. People get dry eye, their whole eye can fog over. I mean, it can be really bad. And then if you blink a whole bunch, blink, 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 and then put some artificial tears in, if your vision clears up, then it was as simple as a dry eye. But sometimes dry eye can be relatively serious. And now, Don, there's something else, and I want you to be more cognizant of this. There's some atypical ocular migraines where it can really occur on only one eye. It might be in both eyes and you don't realize it. And you can get sometimes a strange geometrical pattern. It looks like you're looking through water or looking through a mirage or looking through fog. And it can last anywhere from just a few minutes to 20 to 30 minutes. And this ocular migraine is usually a benign entity, but oftentimes we can determine if there's a trigger mechanism for the ocular migraine. So what I want you to do next time you have this event, first of all, blink a whole bunch and have some artificial tears ready to put in your eye. If that doesn't help, then think back of what you did 20 to 30 minutes, even 40 minutes prior to this event occurring. Were you drinking, hot chocolate? Were you drinking coffee? Did you have any Chinese food? Did you have sausage that had nitrites and MSG in it? Are you dehydrated? Were you driving into a bright light? Were you pumping gas at the gas station? So petroleum fumes. So there's a lot of things that may trigger it if it indeed is an atypical ocular migraine. So now you got your homework, all right? Keep a diary of anything that occurred. Blink, 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 put artificial tears in. And I think it was great seeing your doctor having your carotids done. And then the other thing is, if it still continues, then you probably need to get back to your eye doctor and go to some place that has the capability of doing Optomap and OCT. They need both of those, Optomap and OCT, because they can see the entire retina and see what's underneath the retina with that technology, making sure they're not missing anything.
Okay. Well, now, this, as I say, it only lasts a couple minutes, but if it continues, is it sort of an emergency thing? I mean, if it doesn't clear up, should I see somebody, call somebody?
Right. Yeah. I mean, you can always talk with your primary care physician, see who can refer you to. But I think you definitely would need to see a cardiologist and then possibly even a neurologist for that if it continues. Okay. Or get a second opinion from an eye doctor that has Optomap and OCT technology, and maybe they can find something.
Okay, but it's not like an emergency where blood flow to the bottom half of my eye is going to destroy that eye.
Well, believe it or not, what is more concerning to me, if you had total blackness, total blindness for a few seconds, that's called amaurosis fugax, then that's a telltale sign of a potential stroke coming on. But you don't have total blackout where you're totally blind for 2 to 3 seconds.
No, just the bottom half. But the bottom half is pretty much all fog, like gray fog that I can't see through.
Do you have any temporal pain at all, around your temples?
No, sir, not.
Do you have any arthritis or anything like polymyalgia rheumatica?
Oh, I'm 75, so I've got plenty of aches and pains, arthritis type stuff, but nothing terribly serious. My blood pressure's fine.
Any drugs? Are you on a GLP-1 receptor drug for weight loss? Or are you on any ED medications or anything like that?
No, sir. I take no prescribed medicines. I take
good. You're probably going to be okay. Minerals. All right, you probably are. I wouldn't get anxious over it and create an anxiety attack. So relax. Maybe see another eye doctor. Talk to your primary care physician about it. If it continues, I'm happy to see you anytime.
Okay. Yes, sir. I heard you're coming back to Ocala, so that will be closer to Micanopy for me.
It will be.
So thank you then. All right. I appreciate your help.
All right, Don. Take care.
Got that new number today only because of some changes. 813-720-8065. If you want to be on the program, it's 813-720-8065. And also, I want to mention something that really helped my mom and a lot of my patients think a little bit quicker, help with cognitive decline, but also improve the focusing ability in the eye, reduce accommodative stress, reduce eye stress. Everybody that's on a computer screen, a digital screen, an iPhone, an iPad, they have a lot of blue light that can be actually emitted and potentially damage the macula. So a combination of lutein, zeaxanthin isomers, and astaxanthin. I was the first in the United States to actually combine them all in Fortifeye Focus. But now we have Fortifeye Focus and Brain, where we add the Cognizin. And that's what I gave my mom. And my mom has, early dementia, cognitive decline. Some days are a little better than others. But it really helped significantly because she doesn't think she's on the Love Boat every day now, at least. And Captain Stubing is going to sit down and have lunch with her. So now she really pretty much knows what's going on. But the only thing I did different, she's on, a diet consistent with the Lange survival diet, but she takes the Fortifeye Focus and Brain every day. And so people look at Fortifeye Focus and Brain. If you're on a computer a lot, especially if you're a gamer, gamers do great with this because it makes you think much quicker. It helps working memory. It improves focusing ability. And most importantly, it increases macular pigment density, protecting your eyes from the harmful blue light. But there's definitely some evidence out there that the astaxanthin, the lutein, and the zeaxanthin can help with cognitive decline and even help with depression now. So Fortifeye Focus or Fortifeye Focus and Brain. How old is your mother now?
Mom's almost 99.
That's amazing.
You saw her this morning.
She's in great shape for a 99-year-old person. Really.
Roger came over for breakfast, and we had a pretty good breakfast. Tammy made it for us. We had sourdough, fermented, gluten-free toast with avocado spread, hard-boiled eggs on top, and then we had a huge bowl of cottage cheese on top of that. So we had about 45 grams of protein this morning, and we had the healthy fats. And we usually don't eat a lot of bread, but bread's okay if you're eating sourdough, gluten-free. That's a fermented bread. It's actually pretty good for you. Everything in moderation. It was only one slice. All right, let's go to the phones, but let me give you the phone lines one more time. Here's the new phone number for today, 813-720-8065. That is 813-720-8065. Let's go to Steve in Clearwater. Steve, good morning.
Yes. You started the program talking about cognitive decline. Is that correct?
Mm-hmm.
Well, then you gave an example of cognitive decline. Do you know what that was?
You're going to tell me.
You said you were 63. You're 64.
Oh, stop that. Come on. You sound like my wife.
Changes every year.
One time I was barbecuing out at the beach at a condo we had, and there was, some ladies there that were a little bit younger than me. And they said, well, how old are you? And this is 20 years ago. So, I would have been what? Let's see what my
40s.
math, 60, I would have been what? 64, 50, I'd have been 45, let's say. And I said, I'm 39, and my wife just shouted, you are not. All right. So you're like my white radio wife now, Steve.
Okay, I probably will not get taken as a participant in the future from this
You're a
call.
very ugly woman. Steve.
One other question: did you ever? We kept putting this off. Did you ever make a list of those eye injections and different eye injections and what the benefits were of all of them? We were going to do that 1 week, and then we postponed it till last week.
Yeah, we can briefly discuss that. I mean, it started out with something called Macugen, didn't work too well. Then it went to Avastin, which was a colorectal cancer drug, worked amazingly well and was very cost effective, but it wasn't FDA approved for injecting in the eye, and they still use it off label. And then they came out with Lucentis and then Eylea. And now they have, many more drugs, but Lucentis and Eylea is still very vogue and many other drugs. And remember, these drugs, I think I told you in the past, people got macular degeneration, especially the wet form, and we just watched them go blind, basically. We didn't do anything. And then if you sent them to a retina specialist, they'd go into the retina specialist with 20/50 vision, 20/40 vision, and they'd leave the retina specialist with 2400. And because they would do a laser right in the middle of the macula and to try to cauterize these leaky blood vessels. And I felt bad for the retina specialist because back in the day, I mean, this is 30 years ago, they would say, well, we got to destroy part of your vision to, save the rest of your vision, basically. So patients weren't very happy. And then, they came out with photodynamic therapy, which didn't work really well. But then when the Macugen didn't work well, but Avastin was a godsend. And this is, 15, 20 years ago. Now they have an injection that has what we call anti-VEGF activity. So remember, when macular degeneration starts, the dry form can turn into wet form. This is when these little irregular blood vessels grow underneath your retina in the choroid, and they push up on your retina, and then they start to break down and leak profusely. And this causes swelling and cystic edema of the macula and visual destruction. But these new drugs stop those irregular blood vessels from growing, and therefore then they don't leak. And it can actually reverse lots of swelling and edema. And I've had patients for the last, 15 years now that have stayed pretty stable, 20/40, 20/30, 20/25, some 20/50, but they've maintained their independence and their legal driving ability. But by the same token, Steve, it doesn't work for everybody the way it does. Sometimes, no matter what you do, it progresses quite rapidly. But with today's technology, with our nutritional knowledge, and with the with photobiomodulation therapy that's here now and fine-tuning it, the whole key here is to try to help our patients that have early dry macular degeneration never turn into the wet form of macular degeneration. And we do that by proper diet, like the Lange survival diet, which is a modified Mediterranean diet, proper supplements like Fortifeye Next Gen Macular Defense, getting down to your ideal body weight. And we're going to talk about that, doing specific exercises, wearing sunglasses and blue blocking lenses on the computer, seeing your primary eye care doctor and your retina specialist and your primary care physician. So there's a lot of things that we can do, but that's kind of in a nutshell. And what we'll do is talk more about the newer generation medications that are available now as well. But I got to research that a little bit more still.
One thing you can do is, very interestingly, did you get that email of mine? I know you're really busy sometimes, about what vitamins are anti-VEGF and pro-adjuvant.
Right. And that's, we've used a lot of those in the Fortifeye. We were way ahead of the curve. I mean, we were one of the first to use high ORAC nutrients before it was vogue. And we were using many nutrients that exhibit anti-VEGF activity in the actual Fortifeye. I mean, resveratrol is one of them. Astaxanthin is one of them. Certain B vitamins also, and many other ones, quercetin, things like that. And you mentioned a bunch of them as well. And we could do a whole show on that. I think we should gear a whole show on, natural approaches to macular degeneration. And maybe we'll have another guest on with us, maybe Jay Cormier from Idaptic can come on again, and we can talk about that. Or better yet, maybe one day we'll have our friend Karen Heck from Astaxanthin come on.
Yeah, I've been hoping she'd come on because she's really good. And I think of all the I know you like fish oil, but Astaxanthin I think is right behind that as far as what you would take if you took a supplement. And one more final thing. Actually, a couple of those vitamins were pro-VEGF, like vitamin D at high doses, and vitamin D at low doses it's really complex. But if you're going to do that show, maybe I'll send another email to you more in depth on that, and we can have fun. And what about shark cartilage? That the mechanism of that kills cancer is anti-VEGF.
I don't know enough about that.
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah.
But you're absolutely correct, Steve. I mean, more is not better. I mean, there's a fine line with nutrition, the appropriate nutritional protocol. Too much of a specific vitamin is bad, like too much vitamin D, too much vitamin A, even too much omega-3 is very bad by the same token. Too little is bad. And that's what this whole show is about, is trying to help guide the public on what the ratios and the dosages, what are best for people. And we're going to expand on that in just a minute when I get off the phone with you.
Okay, well, thank you for allowing me to stay on the phone after I pointed out your severe cognitive issues.
All right, Steve, thank you, man.
813-720-8065, our temporary new number today if you want to ask the doctor, 813-720-8065.
You know, what we're going to talk about again pretty quickly is something that we talk about on just about every show. We're kind of beating a dead horse to death, but is omega-3. And there's a lot of what I would say omega-3 scams out there. There really is.
Yes.
There's a lot of hype, a lot of marketing put in, enormous amount of dollars put in, promoting things like green mussel and krill and squid. And none of the studies, all the studies are using omega-3 fish oil. All right. Here's the problem. They have some of these green mussel supplements out there, and you look at how much omega-3 is in it. It doesn't tell you. It doesn't tell you how much EPA. It doesn't tell you how much DHA. It just says 300 milligrams and of a culmination of lots of things. They say vitamin E and ascorbic acid, sunflower oil and green mussel, fluid. And so
that doesn't sound good at all.
So you got to be very careful. You need to look at labels, and you need all the studies, the evidence-based studies show that you need anywhere from 1,600 to 3,000 milligrams of omega-3 and from fish oil. But remember, be careful with green mussel, be careful with krill, be careful with squid. I don't care if that's the most famous person in the world promoting it. That's marketing. All right. Look at the science, look at the evidence-based studies, look at the double-blind placebo-controlled studies. And I always say, if you only took one supplement, Roger, what is it?
Omega-3 fish oil. That's your favorite. In fact, I've asked you if you had to take only one of your products, which one would it be? And you said the omega-3.
Right. And you have to look at the legitimate science. Everybody a good marketing company can put a positive spin on anything. Snake oil. I mean, they can be selling you dust at $69.99, and you're going to buy it, and you're going to think it's working because you're getting the placebo effect.
Exactly.
So be very careful not to just promote Fortifeye, but Fortifeye Super Omega and Fortifeye Super Omega-3 Max are the most potent reestified triglyceride molecule omega-3s in the industry. As a matter of fact, our Super Omega-3 Max is the most potent, purest triglyceride molecule or reestified triglyceride molecule in the United States per gel cap. I mean, we have 1,200 milligrams of combined EPA and DHA in one gel cap. 2 gel caps is the therapeutic dosage. That's 2,400 milligrams in 2 gel caps. The competitors, you have to take 4, 5, and even 6 to get to that level. So compliance is going to be an issue. Remember, omega-3 has many health benefits for the eye, for the heart, for the brain, for the joints, for the skin, the hair, the nails, for diabetics. So think about that. We're still offering an amazing deal on omega-3, and this is not going to last much longer. It is going away maybe next week, so take advantage of it. It's a deal on our Super Omega and our Super Omega-3 Max. If you go to Fortifeye.com, it's a 6-pack. You get a 6-pack, and it's 30% off plus free shipping. Load up on this. It does not expire. If it expires, it says in 2 years, and you want to buy a 3-year supply, it's not going to expire in 2 years. I mean, these things are good for 2, 3, 4, 5 years after expiration, sometimes longer, as long as they're kept in an air-conditioned home and not in the back of a black car in the trunk in the summer in Florida. So take advantage of it. Fortifeye.com. Go to Omega-3. I think we have a banner at the top of each page talking about the Omega 6-pack deal. So it's 30% off when you buy 6 plus free shipping. It's a good deal.
Yes, it is. And our number, 813-720-8065, today only for our studio line.
And we're going to talk about something, especially men and women listening, but the leading cause of cancer and death from cancer in men under 50 is what?
Colorectal cancer.
Right.
And this has been popping up more and more lately. It was not the leading cause of death in the past. Accidents are still the leading cause, 5 to 44. But it's been very alarming. You've heard on the news probably various stars, influencers, people who you wouldn't expect dead at 28, colorectal cancer, dead at 24. This is an alarming trend, and it has been increasing, and new studies are coming out. They've actually gotten some new studies very recently on some possible causes of molecular binding in the intestine, some sort of inflammation. But they say that the causes they believe are behind the colorectal cancer epidemic in younger people: smoking, bad diet, obesity, and low physical activity. And smoking and vaping is horrible. That's one of the leading causes.
Right. And vaping's not any better than smoking. So what we have to do is we got to practice what we preach on this show, Roger, all of us. And you try to, I try to. Now, we can't do it all the time, obviously. I mean, I'm going to lie. I'm going to tell everybody something I did last night. And you already know, I told you.
It was very bad. But the thing is, once in a while is not going to kill you. Once in a while.
I had a lot to do. I was in Ocala looking at the new Lange Institute that we're, preparing to open down the road. Went out and did I was all about the state of Florida, and I had a healthy breakfast, a healthy lunch, but it's like 6:00 in the evening. I'm in between Ocala and, coming back to Safety Harbor, and man, I'm starving.
You saw a glow of yellow on the horizon, didn't you?
Well, I needed high protein, because we've been working out hard. I needed high protein, and I had a craving for a double Whopper. I did. Now, I got the double Whopper. I wish they had something other than the bread they used, but I had no mayonnaise and no ketchup. So I got the double Whopper, and let me tell you, it was delicious. I don't get anything for saying this, but I got a lot of protein in that. I got some carbs I really didn't need, got a few vegetables, some fermented pickles. So that was okay, but it tasted good and it filled the need. I mean, every now and then it's okay to even have, a bowl of Rocky Road ice cream.
Well, every once in a while is one thing. Every day, 3 times a day is a totally different thing.
And that's the problem with the colorectal cancer. So, goal is to naturally lower inflammation, support your immune system, improve the gut microbiome. That's the good bacteria in your gut. All right. Preserve your muscle mass and your weight. So don't get weight, because obesity is a leading cause of colorectal cancer. And we want to decrease insulin resistance and the metabolic dysfunction that we get when we eat a lot of sugar and we gain weight and eat a lot of carbohydrates. And ultimately goal is to increase quality of life while you're doing this. And how do we do this? So the Mediterranean diet is very popular, but I've taken it to the next level, Roger. We've created the Lange survival diet. And so the Lange survival diet or Mediterranean diet is going to be very high in some specific fruits and vegetables that are very good for actually promoting wellness and helping maybe just decrease the chance of you getting colorectal cancer. So cruciferous vegetables. Now I'm going to ask you a question, so we're going to see if you studied. There is a cruciferous vegetable out there that is the best food for men for their prostate and their testosterone, and nobody eats it. What is it?
The broccoli sprouts.
You are learning. You are the man.
I took notes. Broccoli sprouts.
Broccoli sprouts. That's good for men and women. Very high in sulforaphane. That's hard to say. And NRF2 support. That's a whole show in itself. But these have some, believe it or not, some anti-cancer properties. and it's great for men's prostates and great for men's testosterone. So broccoli sprouts, but the broccoli is good too. The cauliflower, Brussels sprouts, cabbage, all right, organic berries. The berries have to be organic because remember, most berries are filled with pesticide. Berries are in the dirty dozen. Tomato paste and tomato sauce, especially men for their prostate. Garlic, onions, green tea, especially matcha tea, has anti-VEGF characteristics, but also some anti-cancer benefits as well. Wild caught fish, especially wild salmon. Eat fermented foods and avoid the processed meats that are so delicious.
The gas station meats.
Right.
Yes.
And charbroiled meats. So don't grill your stuff and just turn it to a charcoal briquette when you're grilling.
Yes.
And
All
then,
that
and like I
black-
said, ultra processed foods, sugar, alcohol, and then seed oil. Stay away from all that. And then maybe we just live for 110 or longer.
Actually, with the latest research, we may be able to do that in the next 10 years. They're making a lot of progress. Yeah, the blackened meats, it really tastes good when you grill that meat and there's that crust of black on the edges, but they tell me that's not good for me anymore.
If you're going to be grilling, load it up with lots of spices, garlic and thyme and oregano, load it up with spices that reduces the carcinogens. All right, let's go back to the phones. Let's go to, I think it's Rich in the Villages. Rich, thanks for holding. Good morning.
Good morning, Dr. Lange. How are you, sir?
Good. How you doing?
Very good, very good. I wanted you to know if you can address, a lot of times people go to cardiologists and they talk about the cholesterol plaque in the system. I've used a formula forever that from the Vitamin C Foundation, which helps remove the plaque. I've been using it for 12 years, and I was wondering what your thoughts on it. It was a combination of vitamin C, L-proline, and L-lysine. And I was wondering what your thoughts are and whether you had anything to add to that process.
Yeah, I've seen those studies, and the studies look pretty good. I mean, they're pretty good studies. High dosages of vitamin C, the proline, and some other things. The problem with vitamin C is you have to take it frequently, all right? Because if you take 1,000 milligrams of vitamin C, it's metabolized and urinated out relatively quickly, so you're not getting the benefits of it. So taking like 150 milligrams, 4 times a day is probably better. Or I've developed a time-released vitamin C. It's got 500 milligrams, and I think we have 1,000 milligrams that slowly dissolves over 8 hours, and we have 3 studies proving that it doesn't do quickly or too long, where a lot of the time released vitamin C's are so impacted and so hard they don't release anything, and you just poop them out, or they dissolve too fast and you urinate them out. But something else, Dave, Rich, that you can add, and this is a pretty good study to reduce atherosclerotic plaque, is getting your omega index over 8%. So I would add omega-3 to it, a good triglyceride or re-estified triglyceride form. There's a few good ones on the market, only a few. Of course, Fortifeye Super Omega-3 Max would be my choice. And you can look at this study if you go to healthbenefitsofomega3.com. Healthbenefitsofomega3.com. And I think it's about the 4th or 5th study down. It talks about reducing atherosclerotic plaque, using omega-3. And I think combining that with what you're doing could be a natural approach. And then obviously following your doctor's advice. Things I'm more concerned about than cholesterol is triglycerides, C-reactive protein, homocysteine, getting all those to be as normal as possible. And ideally getting to your ideal body weight and doing the things we discussed, cardiovascular exercise and weight-bearing exercise. And then trying to eat a diet consistent with the Lange survival diet, and you'll be fine.
Yeah, I have faith in you, sir.
Oh, thank you, Rich. I appreciate that.
I'm using the one I'm using has 1,500 milligrams of vitamin C, and I take it twice a day. It's from the Cell Nutritionals because the other company went out of business when the owner passed away, unfortunately.
Oh, okay.
So, but I did find another place that has the same product line, and I got it from a Dr. Cobb, who wrote this whole thing about what Linus Pauling talked about in '63 when he won the Nobel Prize. So that's what started me on this formula, and I felt a lot of benefit from it. I'm stronger now than I was 12 years ago, so I'm staying with that. And I just wanted your input for other elements, which you're providing now, which is great.
Fantastic.
So I really appreciate it.
All right, Rich, I appreciate the call. You get any more questions?
And the last thing I'm going to say is Jackie says hello, and I appreciate you for everything you do.
Oh, hello, Jackie. And I appreciate what you guys do, too.
Okay, sir. Take care and have a good day.
All right. Take care. Bye-bye. You know, Roger, I got a lot of great patients. I really do. I'm blessed to be super successful from an eye care standpoint and a nutritionist standpoint. And I really treat my patients as if they're family. I really do. It's not a line. I try to go that extra mile. I'm available literally 24/7. So that's why I'm really excited about coming back to Ocala. A lot of my Ocala patients and Gainesville patients travel to the villages, just like people in Sarasota and Tampa and Clearwater. They follow to the village. They, come follow me to the villages. So it's not that far, but it's going to be much more convenient in Ocala. Ocala was my first eye care center. Had 3 eye care centers in there. Remember, had a covenant not to compete for many, many years.
Yes, you did.
But that covenant is gone. So Lange Eye Institute is coming back to Ocala. But I'll still be in the villages. I'm just going to, have a digital me, a digital twin that can go to one office. I got to, mitosis, I got to divide.
You're cloning yourself. That's good.
So we do have some people on hold. I'm going to give you the phone number. The new phone number is 813-720-8065. That's 813-720-8065. In a minute, we're going to talk about the number one thing that people can do for overall health. Remember, we talked about the number one supplement is Omega-3. So Roger's 2 for 2 so far. He got the answer for the sprouts and he got the answer for the Omega-3. Let's see if we get the third answer. What's the number one thing that people can do for overall health, for everything?
And it doesn't come from a drug company.
Right. What is it?
Weight management.
Bam. Bada bing, bada boom.
Weight management. Control the weight and your health will improve. Interesting study from Australia that I found. They had a number of obese people, morbidly obese people, getting ready for gastric bypass surgery. They were also on the list for getting knee replacements. They had the surgery. They lost the weight. No need for the knee replacements. The knees were fine after losing the enormous weight.
Remember, every pound you lose is going to be 4 pounds on your knee. If you lose 20 pounds, that's 80 pounds you're taking off your knee. And it's 6 pounds on your ankle. So many people, when they lose weight, will not need hip replacement, knee replacement, joint replacement surgery. So weight management is crucial. We're going to talk about that more in a minute, but we're going to go to Dixie in St. Petersburg. Dixie, good morning.
Yes. Good morning, Dr. Lange. I don't know if you have come across this or you have anything to do with it, but I'm pretty well bedridden, and but I never had them before. But mainly, right now, my one leg is very swollen around the ankle with liquid fluid, and I drink a lot of water. I usually, pretty regular, but I don't know how to get it down. I, don't go to a doctor very often, not at all. So it's really hard for me. But I was wondering, is there anything I can do here at home that would help, reduce it? Because it's pretty swollen.
Yeah, that's a really good question. And Dixie, you know what time it is? I think it's time for you to see a doctor. I really do. Swollen lower extremities can be, a normal process of maturing. We're having poor circulation, but it can be a telltale sign of a lot of other vascular problems and even heart problems. So I really think, how old are you?
I'm 86.
Yeah, 96, 106. You got 20 more years ahead of you. So I think you need to get in to see a doctor, okay, a primary care physician. Have them check your heart, check your blood pressure, your blood sugar, maybe do a blood panel. But I think it's time because it sounds like you haven't been visiting the doctors frequently.
When's the last time you saw a doctor?
Well, I've been in and out of the hospital, so it's been, this year. It was back in beginning of March. And of course, they do blood and all that. Right. I am on blood pressure medicine, but that's all I do take as far as prescription medicine is concerned. I do take your Omegas, which are are fabulous because I found that they even are helping with a cold sore that I have on my mouth.
Right.
And I've been putting it, I opened up the capsule and I've been putting it on my sore, and it's healing up, thank God, because nothing else would touch it. And so I'm really been happy about that. And I have a couple problems with a couple of teeth, and when it gets, sore, I use that liquid Omega on it, and it takes care of it. So I'm really thrilled with it myself.
But you're also ingesting it. You're not just using it topically. You're swallowing it too, right?
Oh, yes.
Good.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. And so on Fortifeye Focus, which I love. But I thank you very much because I learn a lot from your program. I listen to it every Saturday. And I also want to tell you that you got great people that when I call for the ingredients, they are so great. Mary is especially so helpful to me, and I want to thank you for putting such great people, in your stores and on the phone, because they really are thoughtful and helpful.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that, Dixie. And you have a great day. And next time you call us, you're going to say you saw the doctor and they figured it out, okay?
Okay, thank you, Doc.
All right.
Take
Bye-bye.
care. Have a wonderful, blessed day.
Thank you. It's nice to hear positive feedback. We're getting ready to go to the next call in just a second, but I just want to mention something. All right, so you can go to fortifeye.com. That's Fortifeye, fortifeye.com. And you can look at any of the supplements and go to the science section and see what the research is and why we've developed a specific supplement the way it is. Remember, it's fully transparent. But we were talking about the number one thing you could do for overall health, and that's getting down to your ideal body weight. There's a lot of people out there, Roger, that are on fad diets, all right? They're on the ketogenic diet, the carnivore diet. They're doing a fast for days where they're only drinking water. They're on the GLP-1 receptor drugs, and maybe they're not been educated on what to do. And quite frankly, they're becoming nutritionally compromised. Their immunity's going down. It's opening them up for a whole can of worms. They're losing muscle, all right? Think about it. These people have lost a lot of weight. They don't want to go down the beach because they're overweight, but now they can't go down the beach because they're what we call skinny fat. Now they got this loose skin everywhere, and they've lost weight, but they have loose skin all over their body. So we created something, science gets better and better and better. And we finally created something to help these people that want to lose weight. And it's called the Fortifeye Fit Transformation System. And you can look at it online. It's basically 18% off and free shipping. It's all calculated in there. And this is where we take the Fortifeye Fit meal that we released recently. It's probably the top dog in the meal replacement industry for fat loss and preserving muscle. So it's got Fit Meal. It's got the Rejuvenate, which has our marine collagen tripeptide, not a peptide. Remember, a tripeptide we can use a lot less. We can use 1 gram of marine collagen tripeptide and get better benefits than 10 grams of a peptide. And remember, the Rejuvenate also has hyaluronic acid, rice ceramides, Dermaval, which is 9 superfoods, and more. The Rejuvenate helps the skin, the hair, the nails, and the joints. The Fit Meal helps us lose weight and build muscle. But then we added the Creapure Creatine, MyHB, and vitamin D. The combination of Creapure Creatine, MyHB, and vitamin D helps you build muscle synthesis, strength, endurance, and helps you metabolize fat even faster. So now we have a system, all of you out there that are overweight and losing muscle. This actually helps the GLP-1 receptor drugs work even better. So it's called Fortifeye Fit Transformation System. It's at the fortifeye.com website. Lots of clinical studies using the exact amounts, the exact ratios, and all 3 of these, nutrients that have been combined together. So once again, we use the exact ingredients, the exact studies. So it's called Fortifeye Fit Transformation System. It's basically 18% off of everything and free shipping. Or if you want to start smaller, just start with that Fortifeye Fit meal. Right now, since it's been a big hit, we're making it a little bit more affordable for the next few weeks. It's automatically got 15% calculate off on the Fortifeye Fit meal, which is a complete meal replacement. Like I said, now we have a system. People can lose weight, build muscle, and maintain their skin integrity and actually help the skin look even better with this system.
So when it's warm enough to hit the beach, you'll look decent and pretty and handsome instead of like a skeleton with skin flapping in the breeze.
You got it. All right, we're going back to the phones. Let's go to Colleen in Ocala. Good morning, Colleen. Thanks for holding. Colleen? Hello? Rise and shine.
Oh,
hey.
I thought you said Colleen. It's Pauline.
Oh, Pauline. All right, my bad. Or I said Joe's bad. He wrote Colleen, not Pauline. So I'll blame it on Joe.
Blame it on Joe.
Pauline, all right.
Dr. Lange, I called to confirm what you said, that you treat your patients like family. When I was homeless and old, well, I'm older now, but you gave me free products and, like that green powder and products for my eyes. And that's how you can tell when a person is really kind and caring, when they help the poor. And you were so kind to me, but I don't have a car anymore. I have a apartment now in Ocala, and I can't get to your office, so that's why I haven't been in. But I just wanted everyone to know you are truly a person that treats your patients like family. So that's all I had to say.
Well, thank you, Pauline. And I'll be in Ocala soon, so we'll be able to see you very soon. But we're running up about time, so I'm going to let you go. And thanks for that input. I appreciate it. Well, Roger,
bye-bye.
You got time to tell everybody goodbye. We got 20 seconds.
Well, goodbye, and get out in the sun. Much of the country, you can get out now. It's warming up. You can get some of that vitamin D and enjoy yourselves in the sun. Hear the birds sing and get the fresh air.
Absolutely. And take advantage of some of the deals we talked about. Go to the website at fortifeye.com. That's Fortifeye, fortifeye.com. With that, I want to thank everybody for tuning in and listening to Ask the Doctor. I'm Dr. Michael Lange, helping keep America fit and healthy. See ya.